Hi, it's Malcolm here and welcome to another SPB System Builder update. Okay, so what's new in this one? Well, there's a couple of actually interesting new pieces of the overall jigsaw puzzle, if you like, of SPB System Builder. Firstly, I've added the prize value. I've put race value, but prize value of the race, so you can now search on how much is available in winnings. That's going to throw up some interesting systems, I suspect. I haven't really had a chance to do any myself yet because I only added it yesterday, but it's in there, so we can now search, and I'm going to add winners only value soon as well. So, but for now we've got race value. I've split up the database a little bit more, so you can have more, not so much refined searches, because you can do that with the date picker, but if you've got 2011 and 2012 data, that's already that's the same. But now you can search on 2013 only or 2014. I know people requested that, so I basically put it in. So our database, our main database, actually runs from late 2012 to 2014. So you can now look at just 2013 and you can look at 2014. I've moved last time out onto the form page because I think it needed to go there. So basically this is all race card information now rather than form elements. They're all on the form element window now, which is there. Okay. Yeah, that's about it. I've moved a couple of things around. I've moved BSP over to here now, because I'm clearing up the screen, because I've got a couple of ideas to make things better. So I'm trying to clean up some space and have a look at it and work out what works and what doesn't. So this will be changing again over the coming weeks. Okay, so the main thing this build is, well, let me explain a little bit first of all. You know that I enjoy creating ratings. I've created a couple. I created a new one for Grail Spot owners, which is online. I've got two in here. This rating here, which we've got loads of really good systems on, and the new ratings, which is working out better for lay systems than it is back systems, I think. But it's quite an interesting rating system. But most people hear about rating systems, but they don't really, or they find it difficult to create their own. There are a couple of reasons for that. One is obviously, you know, you need to get a bit of background information before you create ratings. But two is the time it takes. I mean, basically you've got to literally come up with the ratings idea, put them together, then you've got to test them. Now, most people want to back test, which means that you have to go back through loads of information and gradually build up the ratings for each race or each runner. So that's why you tend to be pretty race specific, or certainly, you know, like hurdles, flats, AW specific, so you don't have quite so much to do every day. And then of course you've got to do it daily, which can take time, unless you've got some form of sophisticated system. So I thought, well, you know, I enjoy creating rating systems, and this would be really good for me. And you know, a lot of the times when I put things into SPB System Builder, they're because I want them as well. I do listen to users, don't get me wrong, and I am trying to add things that users are asking for gradually. But I also have my own ideas how I want to create systems and build systems. So, you know, it helps me as well. Anyway, so I came up with this. Now, this is going to be a work in progress, actually. It's going to improve probably just about every build for the next, I don't know, 10 builds, 20 builds, depends on how much or how far we go. The way it works is we can actually now look at form elements of a horse's form element. Now, I will improve that, as I said, and probably start adding in race types and all sorts of things gradually. But at the moment, we're talking about the form of the runner. Okay, and we can say, right, okay, we're going to score based on the form. Now, what you score is going to be totally up to you, because basically that's going to be based on statistical information, if you like it that way, or it's going to be based on hearsay, or it's going to be based on your own experience with racing. But the beauty is that now, once you've come up with the idea, you can run it against the database, and you can see what effect it has on runners, okay, and whether you've come up with an idea that actually does work or doesn't. So, as an example, you might say, right, okay, last time out -2, which means that they've got no form whatsoever. Well, there are, anything can happen, so we're going to give them a -3 because we really don't know. Okay, -1 in our database is that they didn't finish the race. Well, are they going to finish again? We're not too sure, so we're going to give them a -1. They came outside the top 10, so 0 last time out. I don't know, they're not that good, are they? And horses generally sort of start off and gradually improve, so we're going to give them 0 actually. First last time out, well, a lot of horses go on to win again. Let's be a bit more generous and say, well, we're going to give them 5, okay, and we're going to give second last time out 5 as well. And then you can go down and you can just play around with these figures depending on how you feel. Then you can go over to horse gender and you can say, well, colts, not too sure about those, so I'm just going to give them 0. Fillies, we know they sort of come and go, we're going to give them 4. Geldings, they tend to win a lot, so we're going to give them 9, and so on and so on. Course winners, distance winners, you can do this with all these form elements at the moment. So you're building up a picture of races that you think, or runners that you think will win, and runners that you think, or form elements that help runners, and form elements that don't. And you can even use beaten favourite. Then you can put it up against one type of race. Now, the reason I've broke it up into race types is because 1, it doesn't take so long to run it on the database. 2, it's probably better to create ratings for each type of race. Okay. Now, as I speed up the system, I might allow you to do it to the whole lot. But at the moment, I've broken it into hurdles, chase, that sort of thing, so you can run it against one type of racing. Okay. It still can take anywhere between 60 seconds and 2 minutes to create the whole ratings. Remember, we've not only got to create the ratings, we've got to go through the database and add those your ratings to each horse in the database. So that does take a little bit of time, but I've sped it up a lot to what it originally was. So it's really quite cool. You can save off, and that's a good idea. So you can save your ratings to what you want to call them, like my ratings hurdle or whatever. You can save it. And you can load in other ratings, so I could load in one of my test ratings. So okay, and as you can see, that's different. So if I reload the one we just done, okay, and we're back to where we were again. Okay, so we then create the ratings on the database. It goes through a couple of stages. First, it's just created the ratings and it's getting ready to store them in the database now, and then we're going to go okay. And it's now going to store them against the database against all hurdles races. It does it on all runners, whether they were non-runners or not. The reason why I'm doing that is because I eventually want to allow you to rank the runners as well in each race. You can't do that at the moment, but that's what I want to do. You'll be able to rank the runners in each race and rank the runners for the day as well. So you'd have your top scoring runner for the day. And there you go. So now it's your ratings are in the database. Now, it's early days. There are a couple of things. Obviously, if you download the latest database, you have to rerun your ratings on it. I am looking at ways that we can update the database now, not by downloading it, but just by updating the races for the day and the results from yesterday. So I'm looking at that idea. So hopefully that will make things a little bit quicker. But anyway, so now we can run our rating search by clicking this button, and we can say, what happened between ratings 1, or actually let's have a look at between -1 and 1. Okay, because there might be something in there. Okay, we can, as I said, we can search on 2013, 2014, or all the racings. So we go like that, and we run the search, and this is basically going to go through all the races and use our ratings to pull out the winners or losers, or all the selections basically. Okay, so we actually did make a profit, which is quite interesting. Obviously, let's have a look at the graph. Bit up and down though, so you may want to do some work on those ratings. But as you can see, that's how it worked. Now there are a couple of other things that I need to tell you. First of all, to get the selections today, you obviously can't do it online because we don't know what your ratings are. We don't store your ratings online, so we can't do it that way. So you search the results for today. Okay, so you've got 11 selections for today, and then you can see your actual runners based on your ratings. Now this is so that you can load it directly into GreyHallSpot if you want to. You can save this off obviously anywhere you want, and the GreyHallSpot recognises this file type and will bring it in and create the put the runners into the daily races. So you have to do it that way for the moment. We are going to look at ways where maybe you can upload your ratings to the main database, but obviously that's going to take a lot of overheads and a lot of ways of, a lot of people doing that could cause a lot of overheads. But we are looking at lots of different ways because we think the ratings thing could be something that a lot of people like. Well, I'm hoping. You can never tell with what people actually want. And I'm a system developer and I wanted them, so I presume other system developers may. I know some people don't actually like ratings, but I think they're worth playing around with, and they give you a chance to learn a little bit more about how ratings affect races and stuff like that. So they're the updates for this version. Sorry it went on a little bit, but as you can see, those ratings are quite needed a little bit of explaining. I'm going to write another doc and probably do a video just based on how to do ratings and things like that. But that's the latest update. I hope you enjoy it. It'll be out in the next few days. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.